80 to 90% of people in Kenya are living from the informal sector. And so there are so many people who are self-taught, and people acquire many different skills, but there's no way to translate that into certificates that are so critical in our economy.
Nimetoka mbali sababu hata kujipata kwa hiyo kazi ni miujiza. Juu tumeandikwa na watu wako na madegree, madiploma, lakini mimi hiyo certificate ya RPL ndiye imenifanya nikuwe hapo.
We have like 8 million people in Kenya who are working in the informal sector and who have already employed themselves. If our institutions have been accredited by National Industrial Training Authority, we can be able even to bring them on board. They do the test, they get the certificates, and then from there we are going to eradicate the poverty in this country.
What value is there in an academic certificate? For many, it is a key to opportunity, a symbol of accomplishment. But think for a second about the lives and experiences of those who have the skills and knowledge, but not the papers to prove it. In Kenya, it is the story of such men and women that birthed the recognition of prior learning, or RPL policy, recognizing the value of skills and competencies gained outside of formal education.
When people advertise for jobs, they don't say, you come, show us what you can do, and then we will ask for you. No, they ask you to send your certification first or your qualifications, and based on that, you could go to the next round to prove that you can actually do what you do. The local labor market is missing out on these really excellent competencies, but also the negotiating power that this gives to people, because people say, and you see graduates say, I'm a graduate, this is my level of qualification, so can you pay me like a graduate?
The RPL policy making process started back in 2020 with a convergence of vision and a partnership between the International Labour Organization, or ILO, and the government of Kenya.
Federation of Kenya Employers had tried to ask and to push for recognition of those skills and competencies. And then we had a team from the National Labour Organization, and we had a team from the Kenyan National Jokali Association. They thought that this needs to be put in form of a policy for buy-in by the government.
We were interacting with refugees, and they said one of the reasons we cannot participate in the labor market in Kenya is because we don't have certification to demonstrate our qualifications. So we approached the Kenya National Qualification Authority as a qualification regulator, and we said, okay, so then can we work on an RPL policy that would serve Kenyans, that also integrates migrants, refugees, all segments of society.
By 2020, 2021, we already had a technical team that was in place, constituted and appointed by the then Cabinet Secretary. At the top, we had what we're calling the National Advisory Committee, and then we had the technical one, which we're calling the National Technical Committee. And what we did then was to make sure that we had a team that was multi-sectoral and multi-agency, just to make sure that we are able to get good representation.
What followed was 3 years of concerted deliberations on what would form the foundation of a policy that has the potential to reshape Kenya's workforce and open new doors for skilled individuals. They considered industry alignment, the country's development goals, interagency collaboration, assessment guidelines, and capacity building for the implementing institutions.
We put in place all systems and frameworks that allow all the stakeholders within this space to do their part, right from training providers, partners, the industry itself, to make sure that they speak in a more coordinated manner. Then training the individuals that will be responsible to make sure that they follow all the requirement of standards and guidelines that we've provided.
We have several guides for the what we call RPL practitioners, even for the candidates themselves. We also have guides for those qualification awarding institutions. We also have a manual for quality assurance. So suffice then to say that we have provided at national space what should guide all the implementers on how to carry out this process.
One of the things that we had to do is to determine a differentiated unit cost for RPL. Because if you're being assessed as a dressmaker and another person is being assessed, let's say as a lab assistant, another one is being assessed as a web designer, it cannot cost the same. The requirements are very different.
The RPL process was not just about drafting a document. It was about addressing the unique needs of workers and the market. And so, when the policy document was ready, the government, with the support of ILO, conducted a pilot program in 2023 for initial 5 trade areas: textile, welding, motor vehicle mechanics, hairdressing and beauty, and building and masonry.
We actually implemented end-to-end, from expression of interest to go through the RPL, to being guided, to being assessed. And those that were assessed and found not ready were given options or were advised that for you to meet this qualification, either you bring us more evidence or you can also go and bridge.
That bit of piloting, it really cemented our belief that this was a timely policy for the country that would really take us places.
NITA is awarding a total of 601 full and partial qualifications candidates. I wish to congratulate all the graduates, especially recognizing those who are being awarded qualifications in more than one trade area. I also recognize in a special way the refugees who took part in the RPL exercise. This demonstrates that NITA qualifications have gained recognition beyond the borders of the Republic of Kenya.
For me, that was a moment of achievement for the country. That we can speak as one, that we are ready to move as one, and to realize this as a country for ourselves, for our people.
We need to let as many people as possible know about RPL and dispel the myths. It's important that this is communicated in all languages spoken in Kenya so that as many people can know about it, and so that RPL does not remain a preserve of urban areas.